Again, I think it's exciting opponent, Cape Verde. They're a very strong African nation, so the quality of opponents going to be high level, which is good for us.
Of course, we have a friendly match before the Vietnam game. So how do you balance the contrast in style between African football with friendly and the Southeast Asia opponent in Vietnam we face in June?
So, say that again, sorry, bud.
How do you balance the contrast because we friendly with African team and our opponent is a Southeast Asian team?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So again, I think it's exciting opponent, Cape Verde. They're a very strong African nation, so the quality of opponents going to be high level, which is good for us. We want to measure ourselves against the best. It's a really good way for us to see where we land by playing a tough opponent. It'll give us very good areas that we know we do well and have confidence in, and it will also teach us some lessons what we can improve for, again, another opponent such as Vietnam, which will be very difficult. There's similarities in some ways. The direct nature, the transitions that they have, their style of play, there are similarities. And Cape Verde have got a strong squad. Most of the players are playing in Portugal. They're definitely European-based players, so it's going to be a massive test for us, especially so early in a training phase that we're in. But we're looking forward to it. It'll be an exciting game. We'll give everything to be as aggressive as possible and focus on a team performance to do our best to get it and score some goals against them.
Coach, there's no new Malaysian abroad on this list, so maybe we can see the additional player for this Kuala after this.
I think that will be more of an announcement coming early June at some stage when paperwork gets finalised through the government, but it's looking very promising. Yeah, correct. They'll arrive on 1st of June. Again, it's a decision based on what's best for their bodies after their seasons. Dion played last night in the Shopee Cup final. He continues to play his games for Buriam, so he needs a little bit of a couple of days to come into camp on the 1st of June. But again, that's exciting to get Dion in at that time, and Hector as well, who obviously performed really well for us against Nepal.
Good morning, Coach Farah from the New Straits Times. Given Cape Verde's dynamic and physical style of play, how is the team preparing tactically to encounter their strength?
Yeah, so our first focus is about us and putting our fundamentals that we built in the first camp, connect that back into this camp, get our preparations right for this game against Cape Verde. It's going to be a massive challenge for us and should be an exciting game. But more importantly, we just try and grow our game, our concepts, our principles that are really important for us. We execute that against Cape Verde. It puts us in a really good, strong position against Vietnam as well.
Do we have confirmation that they're coming with their strongest side?
I hope so.
Okay, so
no confirmation because they have announced the squad. I've got nothing to do with their federation, but I hope they come full strength. And even if they don't, they've got some serious talent in their squad that's going to be wanting to prove a point. Either way, it's going to be an exciting game. Cape Verde trying to do their best, and a Malaysian national team that's going to try and do everyone proud.
Right. I know that before this you were saying that because it's the off-season, you were kind of worried about the players' fitness and such. Given that one of the matches actually played outside of the FIFA window, and that goes with saying that they would be outside of the FIFA protection program, should they sustain any injuries? Okay, so this. Can you answer this one?
Keep going.
Okay, so what is the plan of attack from here? Should they get injured outside of the FIFA window because they're not covered by the FIFA protection program?
Wow. That's a tough question. Firstly, the first part of the question, it's an interesting phase for a national team, right? So we've got Cape Verde on the 29th at Kuala Lumpur Stadium. It's going to be an electric atmosphere, hopefully. When you think about it, that's 11 days into our training camp, right? Now, anyone with a good insight and detail and knowledge into football can put this into perspective. When does a club ever play a big game 11 days into a training match? Their pre-season, very rare. 2 weeks later, we got Vietnam. So we've got like 3 weeks to prepare for Vietnam. We've just had 4 weeks off. So this is a unique situation for any organisation. The way we've built it is in a plan that we get the best out of the players, both giving them enough rest and then them coming in full steam ahead to take on very tough opponents. Our training camp has to be spot on. Our work on and off the field has to be at the highest level. If we play on the 29th or we play in the FIFA protocol, I'm not sure about that detail. We'll have to get the organisation to look at that. But I know that with His Royal Highness's support, vision and intent, all players are very well cared for and looked after, as are the staff. And you can see by his plan, he's got his eyes on Malaysian football as well.
Coach, Coach, can you confirm Jose Dexter as a new assistant head coach of Harimau Malaya?
He'll be in camp with us for this camp, and that's been an appointment that we've had for a long time, actually. He's been in the coaching system of the national team unit for some time, and we've got him planned as the under-23s assistant coach to Nafusi. Why that appointment's been made is to support Nafusi drive our philosophy, our DNA into the under-23s program, because we have an eye on the future. And we see this as an opportunity for Jose to come into the first team. Obviously, Mark Milligan leaves, and we bring in Jose Baxter with an eye to contribute his skill set into the senior team, but also take that DNA from the senior team and inject it into the 23s program, which is going to be really important for our future.
Any more questions? Will be the last one.
Coach, I understand that you mentioned this is a very unique situation. I mean, no coach would want to go through this kind of situation where it's a long off season and then there's training camp. And physically, I'm sure the sports science aspects of it would be taken care of. But I think in the game of football, mental aspect is essential to ensure that you can perform well against sides like, for example, Verde ranked 75 in the world, near Vietnam, which we have not defeated in a long time. So, in terms of mental aspect, how are you going to press the boys to ensure that they stay motivated, to ensure that they continue the trajectory that they're in? Like the previous win against Nepal, that momentum has to continue. So what would you be imparting to these players to ensure that they stay focused?
Yeah, I think that's an easy one, because the work that we did in the first camp puts a stamp on who we want to be and how we want to act on and off the field. So that just continues. Motivation's important, but that's from what I see of the players and in their eyes, that's at a high level. Yes, we want to push them to be at their best every day. That continues to be our philosophy. They will be fighting every day, and that puts us in a good position to beat our next opponents. And players know that phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 know that means that there's selections on the line in camp. So every day is going to mean something, and that'll have the main focus of us being at our best as a national team, and again playing the best football we can, keep building on what we did in our first camp, and again play football that everybody in Malaysia gets proud of, excited and wants to watch again, and that's what we want to do.
Hi, this question is for Coach Tan. Hi, Coach.
Yeah.
How are you?
Hi, good.
Okay, Coach. Congratulations on coming back to the national setup. We haven't heard a word from you since you've been appointed as the technical director, so maybe you can give us a few words. And also, what are some of the advice or wisdom that you have imparted to Coach Peter in terms of dealing with a team like Vietnam? Thank you.
Definitely, I'm very happy to be part of the national team setup, as we call Harimau Malaya Revolution. I'm very happy since joining the national team. I have a few session discussion with Coach Peter. I feel that Coach Peter has a big vision for the national team as well as the coaching staff as well. So my how to say my work ethic is I respect everyone in the team, and especially Coach Peter coming with a big CV. Definitely, I believe the national team will move to the next level. At the same time, we need to look into the, like Coach Peter mentioned, that we need to look into these under 22 players, under 23 players, as well as under 20 or under 18 for his long-term planning. So it's my job to help the coaches and to find out the best the best way to suit the national way of playing. At the same time, we need to encourage more young players have the dream to come into the national team, even though sometimes we know nowadays very tough for the players to get into the national team. So we, as the coaches in the age group, we need to encourage more for these young players have a dream to play for the country. At the same time, it's a dream for everyone to play for national team as well with the current setup.